is just fantastic. Captain's log. Subdates 250814 point something. As we near closer and closer to a conclusion to the case of Somali of Johnniness, I start to wonder whether South Korea will consider a serious penalty, stick him in a labour camp like the North would, or perhaps use him in a glory hole. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I have recently been giving some consideration to maybe making a Johnny Somali playlist, because while not the biggest creator, videos covering him there are quite a few of them, in a timeline of events like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp defecation trial, Shamima Begum's story, to me, would be a worthwhile endeavour to catalogue it and keep it there for future generations, to learn from the mistakes of him, Vitaly. You could add Chantal, but she's running away from hers. But also Chantal's got her own thing. Yeah, we'll talk about that another time. We had said, come August, there will be some updates concerning him. And courtesy of Atozi and Legal Mindset, we have them. And this stuff's great. So let's dive right into a tweet from Legal Mindset. Legal Mindset. Updated criminal sheet for Ramzi Khalid Ismail, Johnny Somali. After today's court date, he pled guilty to the new obstruction charge and changed his not guilty plea on the third obstruction charge due to a witness showing up. Next trial is October 29th, 2025. As you can see from the images, you have all 8 charges. We have obstruction of business count 1s to 4, minor offence act 1 and 2, and deepfake count 1 and 2. The only ones he has not pled guilty to are the deepfakes, which we all know are true because we've seen the images from his social media. But it's interesting he'd plead not guilty to those, but guilty to the others, which if you look at the penalties, up to 5 years imprisonment and up to 100,000 of a currency, or 30 days detention. So you've got detention, prison, or fine. Reply underneath from Marsupial Prime 4. Frankly, it's worrisome that at the moment he could just be fined $36,400 and go free. Looking forward to the next one, but I wouldn't be too shocked if they find a way, even with the remaining charges, to say, give us a wad of cash and GTFO, just so he's no longer their problem. So I could agree with this if it was in, for example, a United Kingdom court, because they're a joke. South Korea, though, have drawn this out. I don't think they're looking for money. If they did, it would make them look a bit bitch-made. I think they're looking to make an example, and the example will be absolutely emphatic. Done. Yes. Atozi, over on his Twitter, had put out a video and tweeted just got out of Somali's third court hearing here in Seoul, South Korea, and it's safe to say he will be stuck here for a long time. We're going to go through that now.
Okay, so we just got out of Johnny Somali's third court day here in the beautiful yet rainy Seoul, South Korea. And it's safe to say, last time things went terrible for him, today things went awful.
And we on the internet would like to thank the South Korean legal system for this. We want it to go badly for him because we want other live streamers of his kind, the IRL type that aggravate people of differing cultures and belief systems, we want them to understand you can't pull this stunt and get away with it. And now we know consequences do in fact exist in places like South Korea, people are going to be less inclined to pull these stunts in other countries. South Korea is arguably leading the charge, and it's not a free speech issue. Don't, for the 1 or 2 people who say this, don't try me.
And honestly, kind of embarrassing, because a lot of the stuff they did not make sense whatsoever. Clearly, he was way more locked in. He realized how much he screwed up, now it seems like, and he's realizing, uh-oh, I might be stuck in prison for a long time.
While I don't want him to be a burden on the South Korean taxpayer, I do feel it right that if you break the law in a country, you fulfill the duties imposed upon you by the court, whether it be prison or fines, in that country. The funnier part really is that if he was just fined, he wouldn't be able to pay it straight away as he's not able to earn any money in South Korea. But leaving him in a prison until he's able to pay it would be equally funny. He came from privilege in, was it Scottsdale, Arizona? Yeah, I can't imagine his family are in a hurry though to bail him out, or would be in a hurry to bail him out. Not all smegheads are treated the same after all.
So today, at least he was very serious. So, currently he's facing 8 counts, or 8 charges, and 4 of which are obstruction of businesses, 2 of which are misdemeanors. He pled guilty to all 6 of those charges.
In my country, what we typically do We get rid of the charges that are inconsequential and we really latch onto the ones that are harsher sentence territory. I think that applies to a number of countries. South Korea not doing that? I bet that's a surprise to him now, isn't it? I'm surprised they haven't agreed a plea bargain. That might also not be a South Korean thing. Him locking in and finally taking this seriously took long enough. Does it change the outcome? No, because he has never shown any remorse for his actions, some of which included him shouting some racial things. It's not great.
Then you have the two big charges, which are the deepfakes charges. And the deepfake charges are for distributing the deepfakes. Unfortunately for him, he decided to plead not guilty to the distribution of deepfakes because, in quote, he distributed them, but he did not make them. So that's why he's pleading not guilty.
Oh, do please tell me somebody at least forewarned him that just because he didn't create them, yet still distributed them, he, by definition of the charge, distributed deepfakes. And he intentionally distributed them because they involved a South Korean Twitch streamer, a local celebrity, as it were, intentionally done to rile up local anger, local peoples of the South Korea who might be a little annoyed that you are intentionally taking things, making it all about yourself, but distributing deepfakes, which is wrong in many countries, by the way. It feels like unnecessary semantics to try and make yourself seem more innocent with the arguably two more serious charges. But let's face it here, no, you done goofed. And I'm so glad your legal representative didn't tell you that you're still distributing, because this is funnier. I may not sound like I'm laughing, but this is the fourth time I've recorded this.
The problem for him when doing that is that means they actually have to bring the victims of the deepfakes into the court for questioning. And that extends the whole trial process by easily 2 to 3 months.
Now that is, on the face of it, a very strange tactic. For him, that is. If we now know that those in the deepfake images have to be in court, which is an inconvenience on them, we can all agree on that. What's he expecting to do when they're brought into the court? Question them? What, bribe them in front of the judge to fall silent? Intimidate them with his less than average stature? You're shorter than the national average height in South Korea. The only threat you could possess Johnny Somali is if a hobbit stood on you, because it would be akin to getting a splinter. So this unnecessary extension of 2 months seems a bit pointless.
So if he just pleaded guilty to that, things would be over pretty quickly. He would get his sentence and he would at least know what his fate is. But now they're deciding to extend the process for no real upside.
Delaying the inevitable seems like a tactic by somebody who's unwilling to accept reality. I'm kind of wondering if Johnny has gone through the 5 stages of grief yet. The final being acceptance, basically his fate being what could well be custodial. If you're delaying the process as much as you are, it feels to me like not only are you delaying it as a way of staying outside for longer, but also like somebody hasn't warned you that if you do something like this, these crappy little tactics, courts tend to go a bit harsh on you when it comes to sentencing as a punishment for drawing it out, especially when the end result can be argued to be inevitable. Had you, Rubber Johnny, simply pled guilty, you could well just be locked up for a while and already be partway through your sentence. Hopefully the maximum available, but we'll get to that soon. It's unlikely, let's face it.
And by him not pleading guilty, that just makes the sentence even harsher on him. So currently, the legal analysts I've been talking to, they're expecting a 5 to 8 year sentence for him from all this. So that's definitely going to be very interesting to see how all this pans out.
Now, 5 to 8 years is an interesting statement, really, isn't it? If that is what people believe is going to happen next. We'll get to a bit more of that in a moment, though. Atozi over on Twitter had also said, just got out of the 3rd Johnny Somali court hearing, and last time it went awful. This time he came in with a defeated look on his face, acted serious, and things went terrible for him. Out of the 8 charges, he's pled guilty to 6. The last 2, he pled not guilty, and then further explaining what we saw in the video. It's safe to say he won't be leaving South Korea anytime soon, including a picture of Atozi looking very out of place. Why? Because he's wearing smart clothing. It doesn't look right on him. Legal Mindset had tweeted, important note is that Ramsey and Hank left the courtroom together with their lawyer and denied any requests for interviews from the media or other streamers. This indicates a massive shift from his previous bravado. If you need a short summary of everything that happened today of the trial, look no further than than my fast facts which just dropped, linking a video helping us further understand the situation, the predicament, the trouble that, well, he is in, Johnny is in, Rubber Johnny is in. Dexter2 had put out an article via a tweet, and this stated he could face up to 20 years in prison or a fine of up to $145,000 for his guilty pleas. Now, earlier, Tozy had mentioned 5 to 8 years. They've gone up to 20. Now, the maximum, according to Legal Mindset, is actually not 20, it is 12. I don't think for a second he'll get 12. I had believed from the start of this he'd get maybe 2, maybe. But as more charges came to the surface, and the deep fakes are the ones that people are really latching onto here, for me especially, it goes up even higher. It's only a maximum of 20 if you make stuff up. Seriously. A question of interest, where is Johnny right now? More than likely staying with Hank. Because he has no money, he has no freedoms, he's barely able to do anything, he can't stream, unless he's doing it on Party or whatever the platform's called that no one cares about. Even then though, his mobility is restricted, he is very much stuck between a rock and a hard place. And it's not like he can escape, because the only land border with South Korea is the north. Short of him swimming from South Korea to Japan, and we all know how his time in Japan went last time he was there, it is unlikely he'd be able to do that. So he has officially dug himself into a hole that, legally, many people believe he is not going to be coming out of for a while. I, in this grand scheme of things, am okay with this, because streamers like this did a lot of damage to the online space. While their controversial actions did give people like myself content, I don't want to be getting content from idiots like this, says the guy who pretty much just complains about other creators all the time. Yes, I'm also doing that before the person puts it in the comments. As far as this goes, I would love to know all you wonderful, you resplendent, you delicious people think. Do let me know in the comments down below. If I don't see you on Twitch or Kick later for some fishing, or here later for a YouTube stream on one of the lolcow queen lady dainty folk moment situation type deals, I hope you have a marvellous day everyone, and thank you all so much for listening. Oh, and I made a video yesterday, I don't know if anyone saw it. Based on the views, no one did. I'm very salty about it. If it's YouTube's fault, blame YouTube. If it's my fault, blame me in the comments as well. It's quite alright.